What's up, people? It's your girl Adiola. So my inspirational story of the day is one of a woman who not only defeated cancer, but she wrote a book about her journey, detailing her story, which is now helping a lot of people. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please meet my mother, Mrs. Abimbola Ifidon, whom we fondly call Auntie Bimbo. By the way, if you happen to know this woman and you didn't know that she went through that, please and please don't call her to fight with her. Oh, I saw you on Adela's show. I had no idea you had. Please. I had to beg her to let me talk about her story on the show. So please don't go and say you saw her on my show. Why didn't you tell me that you had cancer? No. Just say, I want to celebrate your life. I want to thank God for your life, So the reason that I'm reviewing her book today is because I realized that health is something that we don't talk about enough in the African society. And that a lot of times we just tell people to pray. We don't educate people about things like the importance of regular checkups. Some people even think that it's a waste of time to go for a checkup. Why will you go to the hospital if you're not sick? That's what some people would say. But even if you don't feel sick, a checkup can help us discover something potentially deadly before it gets too big or too late for treatment. And then we also don't talk enough about the correlation between what we eat and some of the health challenges that we are facing. This woman talked at length about how she literally had to start thinking about what she was putting inside her mouth, inside her body, reading labels, ingredients before buying or eating anything. We also don't educate people on the importance of exercising. Some people think that it's only when you go to the gym or it's just to lose weight, that's why you work out, but that's not true. This woman talked about the importance of exercise, especially in her recovery journey, and it doesn't have to be something fancy. You don't have to lift weights. Just walking. Walking is a great source of exercise. She talked about swimming. She talked about riding a bike or a tricycle. It doesn't even matter what it is. Just move. Just get out and move. And she talked at length about the importance of that. So another reason that I want to share her story today is because I am aware that people are going through a lot. Like, you may never know what people are going through. And she said something in this book that I really like to stress on real quick, that if you haven't heard from someone for a long time, please don't be quick to take offense. This person did not even call me. I'm not going to call them. Because you just never know what people are going through. You keep reaching out. By the way, I'm hoping that no one will think that the only reason that she made it is because she lives in Canada, where the healthcare is better. Definitely the healthcare is better, but no, that's not the answer. In her book, by the way, she shared the stories of some of her friends in America, in Canada, going through the same thing at the same time, and they didn't make it. Which is why, beyond going for medical treatment, which we cannot stress enough, please go for treatment. Please and please and please. So, but beyond that, because that in itself is hard, several months of going through chemo, she talked about several other things to pay attention to. And I'll tell you up front, in case you want to read her book, so you don't feel disappointed, I'll tell you up front that, first of all, it is a memoir, which means that the beginning is all about her biography, her background, where she grew up, where she was born, her journey, her family's background, and so on, how she grew up. She didn't get to the cancer story until chapter 11. So I want you to keep that in mind in case you want to read the book and you just want to go to the cancer story. You can skip to chapter 11 unless you want to know more about her. And that's the chapter titled In the Shadow of Death. Second of all, she's a Christian. So please, I don't want you to be surprised, because if you do get her book, she made references to several Bible verses throughout this book. So please keep that in mind. Now, for Auntie Bimbo, life was going great. She had migrated from Nigeria to Canada several years ago. But then during a routine checkup in 2020, during COVID, was when they found that she had some irregularities, and they said that she needed to do further tests. And then, of course, she was later diagnosed with breast cancer. Now, in her book, she talked about how just the diagnosis was like getting a death sentence. And that leads me to the very first lesson that I got from reading her book. You see, when you're going through a tough time, and everybody at some point would go through a tough time, it is very important to protect your heart. And that's something that doctors cannot help you with. Fear is real. Fear can kill people. In fact, she talked about how that alone, fear, The paralysis from fear can prevent you from being able to fight something that you can actually defeat. I don't know what you're going through today, but she said, do that. Go through it. Don't get stuck in it. Don't feel hopeless. Just go through it. So you got a report from the doctors. You got a news. It's really sad. Cry if you need to cry. Like, nobody is saying you shouldn't cry or take time to process what you heard, the news, and what you're going through, especially because it is painful. The treatment is painful, like what she went through. So definitely cry, but just don't stay there. What you should think about is, how do I go through this? Don't see it as your fate. She said this book is about a memoir of faith and faith. Don't see anything as, oh, this is my fate. You can literally go through anything. You never know how strong you are until you have to go through a tough time. It doesn't have to be your fate. And she had to battle with self-pity, excessive worrying, and all this what if. She talked about how it could lead to depression and how some people give up without even fighting. And the best way to do that, according to her, is to focus on your strong reasons for living. In this book, she talked about how she literally had to write down her mission for being alive. I know in the past we've talked about, having goals, having visions for your life, setting up your vision board and so on. She had to write down her vision for being alive. Now, another thing that I loved about her book was she stressed the importance of keeping a journal. And so you have to start living a deliberate life because you are recording the life that you're living. And that's hard to do when you're going through a tough time. You're just thinking a lot. You don't think about writing anything down. But it is very, very important to keep a journal when you're going through a tough time. And when you think about keeping a journal, she talked about the power of gratitude. And she includes that in her journal. Every day, she looks for some things to be grateful for, and she writes them down. This is something we don't think of when we're going through a tough time. She became grateful for the seemingly little things, like waking up. Waking up is a miracle. The ability to bathe yourself, the privilege to celebrate another birthday, another Christmas with family members. She talked about the books that she read that helped her, and then the changes to her diet. She wrote somewhere in the book that I realized through research that cancer feeds on sugar. And we're not just talking about sweet things, but there are some foods that turn into sugar after digesting. Oh, by the way, she lets you understand as well that it doesn't mean that if you're diagnosed with any disease and you do these things that she's talking about, that you know for sure that you won't die. No. But she doesn't want you to die before you die. Because when you live in anxiety, when you live in fear, you are not your best self. Also, she made it clear that if someone dies, it doesn't mean that they lost the battle, because it's not about how long we live, but how well we live. So I'm going to read a paragraph, by the way, that she wrote in this book after she got healed that really, really touched me. So this is after she was completely healed. She said, such an experience gives you more appreciation for life and humbles you. And you may become more accommodating and tolerant of others. These life-changing events also have ways of calming you down and making you less sensitive to things that would otherwise rile you. They bring with them the realization that life is transient and that there is a need to live it purposefully and meaningfully. Time becomes your most cherished resource, and you suddenly realize that some things are just not worth it. Wow. It's so true, guys. I feel like when you go through some things don't matter to you anymore. You start being deliberate about how you spend your time, who you spend your time with. She talked at length about that in the book, by the way, Some people just want to drain you, and especially when you're going through a tough time, that's not the time to put up with people who are draining you. Be very, very cautious of the people that you surround yourself with. So reading this book, honestly, it made me appreciate life more. It made me appreciate health. Like, we have no idea how precious it is to be able to get up in the morning and just go. And not have, for your body to work the way it is designed to. It's such a privilege. It's such a testimony. It's such a great thing for your body to work the way it is supposed to. By the way, guys, her husband is too amazing. Wow, Daddy, in case you're watching, God bless you, sir. I'm so sorry for saying this because some people will take offense, but I feel bad for men who don't know how to do anything in the house. Men who leave everything to their wives. Because if anything happens to that woman, some men will not know how to cope. They won't know how to survive. Everybody will know that your wife is sick. You know, we don't have house helps in Canada, in America. You know, you have to be really, really rich. But this woman wrote about how her husband's only priority was for his wife to be well and all the sacrifices he made. My brothers, knowing how to cook, knowing how to take care of the home, knowing how to take care of your own children will never hurt you. It will only help you. And of course, a huge shout out to her sons. She has 3 sons. And they all stood by her in prayers, in every aspect, encouraging her. So you guys can imagine how happy Victor and I were to go to Calgary this May to celebrate her 50th birthday with her and her family. And that's where she made this outfit, which she wrote, God rescues. That's what I'm wearing today. By the way, you would never know what she had been through if you had seen her at that event. She had so much energy. She danced. She changed her outfits. I mean, if you go to people's events and you see them changing outfits and going all out, sometimes don't be too quick to judge because you just never know what people have been through. She was happy to celebrate being alive. Honestly, she does not look like she's 50 at all. You look good, ma. Honestly, in case you're watching, ma, you look really good, really beautiful. In fact, after the birthday party, as a group, we all went to Banff, and it was beautiful. We had, you know, picnic out there. It was great. So we're so happy for your life, Auntie Bimbo. Thank you so much. I'm just trying to say that indeed, she was rescued, and we're so happy for you, Auntie Bimbo. Now, if you're in Canada, her book is available on Coupons Hub Canada and on Indigo Canada. She sold out on Amazon Canada, but she's working on getting on Amazon.com. Also, I'm giving out 10 copies of this book. So if you're interested, first of all, please make sure that you subscribe. I will appreciate that. It's not a requirement, but I will appreciate if you subscribe. But I'm giving out 10 copies of this book, and let us know in the comment section if you are interested, and then Auntie Bimbo herself will go through the comment section to pick 10 lucky winners, and then she will be the one to ship the books to them because she's the one that is selling the book. So I just wanted to say once again that if you're going through something similar to this today, please don't ever think that you're alone. And that's why I'm talking about this, because she didn't know that some of her close friends were going through the same thing. Please know that you're not alone. Also, I'm going to try and bring her on the show. I just wanted her to talk to people who are going through a tough time, especially health challenges, and just to encourage people. I think when people meet people that have been through it, it helps them to go through it. That's one of the things that she did. She read a lot of books on people that went through it and came out on the other side, and that really, really encouraged her. This is not sponsored, by the way. I don't want people to think that she's paying me to do this. No. Her story is very powerful, and I hope that it would help somebody out there. So actually, I'm going to bring her on the show this Friday. It would be at 6 p.m. Nigerian time, so 1 p.m. in New York. And in Calgary, Canada, where she lives, it would be at 11 a.m. So if you can join us this Friday, you know, if you're going through something and you just would like for her to give some words of encouragement. All right, did you guys click the thumbs up button yet? Please do if you are yet to. And please don't forget to subscribe. All right, y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, I'm watching you on Plasma TV. Press the subscribe button and the bell button. Until next time, I'm going to see you all later. Peace out.